What's going on? Cam Rogers coming at you alongside Tom Downey. It's NFL Daily here with the latest rumors, coaching hot seat rankings, and Super Bowl 53 odds, Tom, because sports betting is legal. Well, at least it's up to the states to make it legal. So there you go.
So it's legal for some, not for everyone.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
All right, let's get to the latest NFL rumors here on the program. Tre Boston perhaps going to Indianapolis. How many heads on this one?
We're going to give this one 2 heads because Boston is visiting Indianapolis today, and I am pleased to see this, Cam. You and I have mentioned this many a time on NFL Daily on individual shows that the safety market doesn't make any sense. Like, Tre Boston should have been signed already. Kenny Vaccaro should have been signed already, who we'll mention again here in a second. So Boston visiting the Colts, it definitely makes some sense there. I love Malik Hooker. I think they could use one more safety. If you want to bring in Boston on what is likely a cheap one-year prove-it deal, then it makes some sense.
Supply and demand at this point, I don't think Tre Boston will be asking for much money.
I don't think so.
All right, let's get to rumor number 2. How about another safety, Kenny Vaccaro, maybe to the Colts, firmly in the rumor category?
Colts just kicking the tires on all the safeties then today, so 2 stars on this one as well. One thing I can promise you, Cam, the Colts aren't going to sign both these guys. I think both Vaccaro and Boston want to start. You have Malik Hooker locked in as your free safety. I think the Colts want to see if Vaccaro or Boston can kind of play that strong safety, maybe even some hybrid nickel role. So you're not going to see them both sign with the Colts, but I think the Colts bringing in both Vaccaro and Boston means that maybe, Cam, just maybe, we finally have some movement on that very stagnant safety market.
Back-to-back 2 headers here to kick things off in rumors. Let's take a look at the rumor meter. Tell you what those heads mean. 0 heads, fake news, do not believe in that rumor. 1 head, small shred of truth. We got 2 heads for people are talking, 3 heads more probable than not, and then 4 heads, it's fact news. Let's get to rumor number 3. The Saints won't increase Alvin Kamara's carries with, of course, Mark Ingram's 4-game suspension. Tom?
So a lot to unpack with this one. That was actually the headline from NFL.com, was that they're not going to increase Kamara's carries. Here's why it's only the 1 head. So that's what NFL.com wrote. And Sean Payton did say that we're not going to give Alvin 15 more carries. He doesn't think that wise. But what Payton also said in that same exact article, by the way, maybe they occur through 2, 3, or 4 more carries and 2 or 3 less receptions. So Kamara could get more carries. So the headline from NFL.com was straight up wrong. But there is a kernel of truth there because the touches are likely going to stay the same. Now, the hype around Alvin Kamara this offseason has really skyrocketed. And can we pump the brakes a little bit? I love what Alvin brings to the Saints, but be it for fantasy or for real-life purposes here with the Saints.
We got a question for the folks as well.
Yeah, he got about 12.5 touches per game. Now, I think that's going to be a little bit more in the 14, 16 range. But if you're limiting a guy to that amount of touches, he's really a top 10 back in the NFL, as good as he is and as game-breaking as he is. The Saints don't want to overwork him, which means a Jonathan Williams, a Daniel Lasco, a Boston Scott, or Trey Edmonds, barring another signing, is going to get more work. So I just want to pump the brakes here a little bit. I think he's going to be, especially for you fantasy guys out there, he's going to be overdrafted, especially outside of PPR leagues.
Well, he did make a lot of big-time home run plays.
He did.
And that's how he stole the headlines.
But are you going to get that again?
That's the thing.
I think that chasing touchdowns can kind of bite you in the butt there. So if Alvin Kamara's volume isn't going to increase all that much, they want to keep it around that 15 mark, kind of like how it was the latter half of the year, maybe we pump the brakes a little bit. He had 1 game of 20 or more touches. So he's not a workhorse back.
All right, that's the deal with Alvin Kamara. Be sure to hit us up in the comments section.
I do love him, though. I don't want to get hated on that.
He's very talented back, no doubt. Let's get to rumor number 4 here. Ereck Flowers trade. Is that going to go down, Tom?
Well, Flowers has reported to the Giants' offseason program, but it is still an option. 2 heads on this one because, well, Cam, it takes 2 to make a deal. And, yeah, guys like Cam Irving found a place to be traded to, but does anyone actually want Ereck Flowers right now? First off, he was clearly disgruntled this offseason because the Giants moved him from left tackle to right tackle. Didn't show up for a while, which was not a good move as he moves positions. So Schefter says it's still an option. I don't know if any team wants him, but if he doesn't win the right tackle job, the Giants are going to try like heck to trade him away.
Well, apparently he got all whiny and whatnot after the Nate Solder signing.
He did. Which was weird because Flowers wasn't good last year.
Yeah.
Now I thought he was better at times, but he is not a reliable left tackle. So that's just something that I think guys need a monitor out there. So watch for an Ereck Flowers trade. It could happen.
And speaking of trades, how about Jamar Taylor from the Cleveland Browns somewhere else? What do you make of this?
Not the biggest name out there necessarily, but Jamar Taylor has actually been a pretty decent cornerback for the Browns. He's never going to be a number 1, number 2 guy, but a former second-round pick. The issue for the Browns is there are just too many bodies right now in that cornerback locker room. Remember, they brought in E.J. Gaines, Terrence Mitchell, and Denzel Ward, and T.J. Carey as well, and they drafted Simeon Thomas. So you add some of the guys that they kept originally, like Brian Body Calhoun. Someone's got to go, and Jamar Taylor's been the guy they've tried to shop. They shopped him during the NFL draft. They ended up not finding a taker, but if there are injuries for a team at cornerback or even just an outright cut, I would be surprised if you saw Taylor suit up for the Browns in Week 1. He is very much on the trade block. It's kind of a who wants to trade for. Remember, they tried to trade Randall Telfair, and then that did not work because he failed his physical.
All right, let's get to rumor number 6 here on the list. How about the Chargers? Are they the favorites in the AFC West? 3 heads here, Tom, and I'm buying into this.
And you know why we're buying into it? First off, we like the Chargers, which is weird for me to say. See that rumor origin, though? John Elway thinks so.
Elway himself.
John Elway says the Chargers might be the team to beat in camp. I agree. I like what they did in the draft. I love getting Derwin James. You know, he says that the quarterback spot is settled, and in an AFC West that is very much wide open.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's the Chargers. Now, that doesn't mean that they're going to win or that it's not going to change in the preseason, i.e. injuries or bad play from important players like Phillip Rivers, but based on where we sit at this moment, yeah, I think I'd put my money on the Chargers. Wouldn't be that much money, but it'd be some money there.
I think one team comes out of the AFC East in the playoffs.
West, but yes.
No, but I'm talking about the AFC
Oh,
East.
I'm
just going through division by division. So Patriots out of that division.
Agreed.
But if you want to talk about the other divisions here, AFC South, I could see 2 teams. AFC West, I could see 2 teams as well, Tom.
I could. And I think a lot of it depends on an AFC West team finishing near the bottom. You need a team like Denver, like they did last year, to win 5 games because that means other wins for the other teams in your division. I guess the worst case scenario for the AFC West itself is that all those teams go 500 in the division and they all kind of finish around 8 and 8.
No, I could see that scenario too.
And then only one team ends up getting in. But drama there, so that's fun.
Okay, let's get to rumor number 7. Doubts about the 2019 quarterback class here, Tom. What's the deal?
Well, yeah. I think even as we've mentioned before on other shows, you look ahead to what this quarterback class offers. As we sit right now, it's really not that great. Now, the report from Sports Illustrated via an AFC college scouting director was that there wouldn't be a single quarterback to go in the first round as it stands right now. Now, of course, the big caveat there is that that's going to change. That I will be absolutely stunned if we get no quarterbacks that go in the first round because somebody, be it a Ryan Finley, a Drew Lock, a Jarrett Stidham, a Justin Herbert, a Will Grier, whomever, a guy we aren't even discussing right now, like the Buffalo kid, who's really good. Someone is going to get into that mix and be an early first-round pick, probably multiple guys in that end because they have a whole year to prove themselves. If Herbert stays healthy an entire year, if Drew Lock improves his completion percentage, that's where you see the uptick in the draft stock. But as of right now, it's not as good as what it was this year or maybe even the previous year. So it's not looking to be an ideal quarterback class. I think that's why you saw a team like the Bills trade up to go get Josh Allen. Why you saw the Ravens go up and trade to get up for Lamar Jackson. It's not an ideal class at the moment, but I do think that will change. We'll fall in love with at least 1 or 2 of these quarterbacks as we do every year.
I will say off of that rumor there does make the story interesting about the Giants going Saquon. Maybe they're not all that sold on the quarterbacks in 2019, or maybe there's somebody they like out there.
Well, they think Eli's got at least a few more years in him, so...
Stay tuned.
That's all I got.
Let's get to rumor number 8 here. Golden Tate, perhaps an extension with the Detroit Lions incoming, Tom.
Well, I'm only going to give this one the 2 heads, and a couple of different reasons for it. A, the Lions and Tate have said that they haven't had any real substantiative talks yet because they want to see him and how he gets along and fits with new head coach Matt Patricia. You don't have to sign him right now. You can wait and then work out a deal later in the summer, in the season, whatever. At the same time, Golden Tate and every other wide receiver on the planet just saw what Jarvis Landry got from the Cleveland Browns.
And it was a lot.
And it was a lot of money for a slot receiver. 5 years, $75 million, 47 of that guaranteed. So Golden Tate, who is a very quality receiver and can play outside and does play outside more than Jarvis Landry does, for example, he's going to want to get paid too. So you could see a scenario where Tate has a very high asking price and Detroit says, No, let's table that because you shouldn't get that much money.
Let's kick the can down the road.
And then they approach it again in free agency, or Tate tries to leave to go get paid somewhere else. I know that he likes Detroit, but the Jarvis Landry contract and other ones are going to cause some issues for other similar type of receivers who aren't necessarily the true top 5, top 10 guys, but are kind of getting paid like it.
All right, Golden Tate, perhaps an extension coming soon. We'll see two heads on that. Let's get to the final rumor here. The Patriots passing up on Johnny Manziel. We feel good about this. 3 heads here.
Almost 4 heads because maybe something changes. But the report from ESPN was that because they drafted Danny Etling, that's funny, the Patriots have no more interest in Johnny Manziel.
You gotta love how that's the logic.
They definitely did their due diligence, though. They met with him after the University of San Diego Pro Day. A Patriot scout was there. And they almost brought him in for another meeting and workout. So there was definite interest there. Maybe it was just due diligence, but go and cross off the Manziel to Patriots theory, for at least for now, Cam.
All right, folks, that's the rundown there with the latest rumors across the National Football League. And we end with Johnny Manziel and the New England Patriots because why not?